morning. In this video, we are going to revise what are twin fields and what are bundle attributes. So, twin fields are nothing. So, imagine there is a scenario that, say, what is the CPQ providing is that you have two different objects. On both different objects, you create a field, a custom field, whose API name will be same among both of the objects, and the field type. For example, if the field type is pick list on first object, and field type should be pick list for second object also. I hope we are clear. So why we create twin fields is, the main purpose of creating them is, it's a special functionality of CPQ, where when the API name of the field is same between two objects and the return type is also, basically the field type is also same. For example, if it's a pick list or it's a text or it's a currency, whatever it is, then based on that, whenever the record is created for the first object, the same value is copied on the second object. Which means that if in case I create a, for example, insurance tire, it is a field, okay, it is a field that I created on the product, and it is also a field that I created on the quote line. It is of type pick list and it has two values, when one is gold, another is silver. Okay, so when I created the product, say I have given the value as gold. Okay, so once my product is converted into quote line in the quote line editor after saving, okay, at that point of time, what I will notice is that whatever the value that I put in for the record of the product as the value of insurance tire, say gold, same value will be pasted in the quote line record for that particular conversion. I hope we are clear, and this only happens on the creation. Okay, we can you can go to the Salesforce document to understand that for which different combinations of objects we can perform the twin fields. So basically it's more on the side that we don't need to write any trigger, we don't need to write any flow. It's just that two same names on the two different objects with the same return field type, that's it, you are sorted. Okay, so the next topic for today is bundle attributes. So basically, what is attributes? Attributes are basically the characteristics, okay, that define the product bundle. So previously we have discussed bundle, okay, when within a product we have multiple products, right? So attributes are nothing but the characteristics that will be defined for the products. Okay, so what happens is, we have three types of attributes: configuration, inline, and global. Let's understand what is configuration attribute. So I will just try to explain with the help of example. You can go through the steps if needed. Okay, so in this scenario, what we are going to do is that for example, there is a common attribute, okay, which means, say what is happening, for example, let's say there is engine type. Okay, so whenever you add a car, okay, in your quote line editor, you want engine type as a common field that would be present across your on the higher level you selected, and it will be present on your quote lines. Okay, so the same value will be copied, whatever you select at the top level, it would be coming in for the different quote lines. I hope we are clear. Configuration attribute, it's a common attribute that is selected on the product level and gets copied on the quote line as per the selection. For example, you selected engine type on the higher level, at the top you selected, the value will be copied to each of the quote lines. Okay, so whatever the selection you made, say engine type was electric. Okay, so the same value will be copied on the quote lines that were present under that product. I hope we are good. Okay, the steps you can have a look. Just for the interest of time, I am skipping the steps for now. The second is inline attribute. So what is inline attribute? For example, you don't want to so sometimes it happens that this engine type is something that you want to copy on all the quote lines, right? But there would be scenarios where the characteristics that you want to define, say color of the car, so there is LED in the car, so what would be the inch, 5 inch or 8 inch, what you want to put, only that thing you want to copy on a particular quote line. Okay, you don't want it to be copied on each of the quote lines. Okay, and you don't want to select it on the top level, you want to select it on the individual quote level or quote line level, right? So in that scenario, we are going to use inline attributes. Okay, Then comes the global attributes. What is the use of global attributes? So just now we discussed in the inline attributes what is happening on a single quote line. You select whatever the value, say the value is 8" for the LED, okay, the display of LED, the size of LED. So that same value, so what happens tomorrow again for a different product I want to use the same thing, okay, the same attribute I want to use. So I will not create one more inline attribute here, right? I want to reuse the kind of inline attribute that I created earlier. So how I can reuse? We can do it with the help of global attribute. So what will happen? In this scenario, you will create an attribute. You have already something, basically these are all the steps that this is a twin object that you will be creating in the reason we have gone through the twin object is just because the steps involved here are for the twin objects, because we are copying the value, right, from the options to the quote line or from the product to the quote line in my previous example. So once you basically show whatever information you need, you can use the same attribute for different products. So whenever you add a product, okay, and they would, you create a bundle, on the bundle you have product options, on the product options, whenever we will be creating global attributes will be reusable attributes, where once we create an attribute set, that's it. Then we can, every time we need to use that attribute set for different product, we will just create a junction object record which is of the product attribute set, and we are good. We can reuse the same attribute that was created for another product option by creating this junction object, and this is how we are going to reuse it. Thank you everyone, have a great day, bye.